be compromised if what he's telling me is correct. And just because it's an iOS phone, don't kid yourself for a moment that an iOS phone cannot be hacked. They get hacked all the time. It's just not as widely publicized as the hacks in Android phone. One of the benefits of setting up your security features in dealing with Trust Wallet is you can set up a PIN password, and then you can also enforce that PIN password to be invoked every time you take a transaction. Now, why is that? It's one thing to be able to go in and hack your phone and then navigate to that particular app and get that app to respond. It's quite a bit different when that app is expecting your finger to actually touch the keyboard. Producing that level of software sophistication is far, far more challenging. So I recommend anybody that's listening, set up security on whatever wallet you're using. If it's possible, include both pinned passwords, and if you can, set up two-factor authentication, either using Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator, with the caveat that if you're going to use two-factor authentication, remember that you need to back up your two-factor authentication because it is a separate authentication process. And if your phone gets lost or torn up or whatever, and you pull out your seed phrase and you want to get rocking and rolling again, and then the application immediately asks you to enter your two-factor authentication, now you're in trouble because you didn't back up all of your two-factor authentication phrases to go along with your seed phrase. But for individuals that are doing crypto, particularly if they anticipate generating a pretty high investment, set up your PIN, set up your two-factor authentication, and ultimately invest in what's called a cold wallet, which is yet another layer of authentication required should anybody nefariously gain access to your wallet and want to start draining your wallet. That's kind of where I left him. I told him, I said, I think you need to take your phone down to a particular phone company that has security capabilities as part of that service and let them thoroughly analyze your phone to see if you've been hacked. The other thing we did was I recommended that both of them completely uninstall their Trust Wallets because they need to start over anyway and create new seed phrases, reintroduce all their data, reintroduce all the security features. And then that way they've got the best chance of preventing from that happening again, in my humble opinion. And that's where we left it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks.
You're welcome, Oma. Appreciate the question. So, who at this stage would like to chime in with their concerns, their wishes, their desires, their knowledge of how to solve one of the more obscure mysteries of the universe, or we could just pare it down to talking about FIG. Who'd like to?
Yeah, hello, Paul. How are you? I've got some thing I want to talk about. It's to do with wrapping. I'm trying to wrap something, and it's like when I try to wrap it, all it wraps is like 0.0000001 of an XRP. But I'm like trying to wrap much more than that, and it's like it says like I have it typed in the amount that I want to wrap, and I click wrap, and then it just like an absolutely minuscule amount wraps, not the amount that I've like typed in at all.
Right, right.
Do you know anything about that? Like, would you know anything about how to fix that error or fix it in any way?
Well, let me add the caveat that I have not actually used the wrapping process. And then let me add an additional caveat that says that XRP, actually, the native token, the native contract for XRP resides on its own separate and different blockchain.
I wrapped some XRP, Paul.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
What,
And can
so
you explain the process, how you managed to be successful, please?